Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. I will introduce myself. My name is Ulfa Nur Lailiyah. You can call me Ulfa. From class B, class of 2022. Here, I will explain the material that I understand the most in this semester, namely resolve conflict in the workplace. Well, before we know the solution, we must first know what conflict occurred and its cause. What is conflict? Conflict occurs when one person meddles in another's business and parties disagree about how to meet their needs. With so many people with different temperament in the workplace, of course, we can't avoid conflict. Conflict can have a positive or negative impact on individual and team performance, depending on our ability to accept and find the right solution to the conflict. By learning to handle conflict well, we will increase our success in our work. If there is a conflict, what we have to do first is identify the conflict. There are many reasons behind conflict at work. For the first, different communication style. People communicate in different ways. For example, someone with an indirect communication style may have difficulty communicating with someone with a direct communication style. The second, change. People often respond negatively to change, especially if they feel threatened or unprepared for it. This can sometimes be a source of conflict. For the three, prejudice. Today's workplace is filled with a wide variety of people of all ethnies, religions, and sexual orientation. Some people resist rather than embrace those differences. For the last, the occurrence of difference in goals, expectations, or values is the most difficult conflict to resolve. For the next is resolve conflict. To deal with conflict in the workplace, we can combine a variety of negative coping methods, including avoidance. We believe that we ignore the problem, it will go away. Reception. Sometimes it's easier to accept a problem than to gossip and complain about later. Accommodation. Trying to please everyone and fix things instead of dealing head-on with conflict. Aggressive behavior. Demonstrate cruel, abusive behavior which is inappropriate and can turn violent. Using such method will have a negative impact on work performance, to distract us from work tasks, and can weaken our enthusiasm from work. So, we can do everything we can to learn how to deal with and resolve conflict in the workplace. Dealing with conflict at work can be challenging, but it's essential for maintaining a healthy and productive work environment. Here are some effective ways to handle workplace conflict. For the first, address the issues early. Don't let conflict faster. Address them as soon as possible before they escalate and create more significant problem. Number two, communicate openly and respectfully. Engage in open and honest communication with the person or people involved in the conflict. Clearly express our concern and listen actively to their perspective. Use I statement to avoid sounding accusatory and maintain a respectful tone. Number three, seek to understand. Take the time to understand the root cause of the conflict. Look beyond the surface level disagreement and try to identify underlying issues, differing opinions, or miscommunication. For the fourth, collaborate on solution. Involve all parties in generating possible solution. encourage brainstorming and an open exchange of ideas. Consider different perspectives and be willing to compromise to find a resolution that satisfies everyone involved. Remember, it's not about winning but finding a mutually beneficial outcome. Number 5, practice communication and emotional intelligence. Try to understand their feeling, motivation, and concern. Developing empathy and emotional intelligence will allow us to respond more effectively and foster a positive environment for conflict resolution. For the last, learn from the conflict. Conflict can provide valuable insight and opportunities for growth. After resolving the conflict, reflect on what happened, the strategies that work, and areas from improvement. This self-reflection will help us navigate future conflict more effectively. Remember, each conflict is unique and not all conflict can be resolved completely. However, by applying these strategies, we can minimize the negative impact of conflict and create a more harmonious work environment. That's all a little explanation of the material that I understand. More or less I do apologize. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.